So here is the conversation. As you can see, the first line comes with, "May I come in, sir?" Obviously, greetings are really important. Before entering to the room, you can ask the permission, like, "Could I come in, sir?" Or "May I get in, sir?" However you say, it's okay, but take the permission before entering to the room. Even when you are sitting to the chair, try not to sit correspondently. Rather, get the permission first. Right. So it's a definitely show off your respectfulness. So could I sit here, or could I put my documents here, or may I put my documents here? Right. These are the things. Or if you're taking a bit time, for example, you're trying to find out the documents, and maybe you need a little bit of time to get the exact documents from the pile of it. So at that time, just when you're finding the documents, try to say a little bit silently that, "Could you give me a time?" Or "May I have some time, please?" Or "Just a moment, sir. Just a moment." Or "Give me a minute. Give me a minute." Right. So try to speak these sentences fluently but silently. And you don't need to express it like, "Could you give me a moment?" or "May I have some time, please?" Because it sounds overly dramatic. So try not to be overly dramatic. Try to be very try to act naturally. So give me a minute, please. So you're finding the documents, and here you go. Here you go. This is the way that you can practice with. And another silly tips that I can give you is that if you know the language of the visa interview, you can greet them in their language. For example, if your visa interview officer is Finnish, and you know a little bit of Finnish, for example, you know how to say hello. You can say in Finnish, we say it like moi, or we say terve. This means hello. So you can do that as well. Or when you are leaving the room, we usually say heippa, or we usually say moi moi. This is the way of saying goodbye, right? Or we usually say nähdään. That means see you again, but we never see you again, the visa officer. So try not to say these things. But actually, if you're interested to, and if you're very confident to talk a little bit of Finnish, or with the same language that the visa officers speak, I believe that this would also help you to make you most memorable applicant. So don't hesitate to do that. But you have to do it in a certain scale that proves your language ability and communication skill, right? And try not to make things memorized, and just try to push yourself to do that, because it may ruin the environment. So if it comes naturally, then it's the best things that you can do. But if doesn't it come naturally, then try to avoid it. It's better to avoid, right? Try not to risk yourself. When you are not understanding a question, or when you want to hear that questions again, try to say it naturally and formally. For example, "Pardon me, sir. I couldn't hear you properly. Could you please repeat that?" However, some students usually say, "What? What did you say?" It sounds a little bit rude, right? So try not to have a rude attitude. Try to have a very formal, polite attitude, because politeness matters. Here are some other sentences that you can do. For example, "I'm not sure I understand your questions correctly. Would you mind clarifying or repeating the questions?" Or, "I'm sorry, are you asking about option A or option B?" For example, you have two questions, right? So you actually don't understand what the things he was actually asking about. So in that sense, you can say, "I'm sorry, are you asking about my tuition fees, or are you asking about my sponsor?" So this is the things that you can also do to show or to express your confident level, that you're communicating with the person. It's all about like communication, how you talk. So these are the things that you can also do in the beginning of your interview. And in the next video, I will talk about 4 things that you never should forget in visa interview. These 4 things are really important to get your visa positive. So what are those four things? If you want to know, follow my next video.